Hi, Steve and Caleb from Brownells, and we're here today with Bobby Tyler of Tyler Gunworks, and we're going to go over one of the topics my wife and I enjoy discussing most of all, and that is guns as an investment. There should be a laugh track right there.
Yeah, there. Where's the laugh? Was it in there? Is it? Yeah, sure.
Very popular topic.
Okay. We've invested in a lot of guns between the three of us. Let's face it. Have you ever lost money on a gun that was a good quality gun?
I have not. I've lost a lot of money on other things.
Yes. And I've lost money on guns I shouldn't have bought in the first place that were not good quality.
Usually you can kind of tell when you're going in. You should know better. But
Yeah.
for some reason, some guns are just weird enough that I buy them and knowing I'm not going to get my investment back in those. But those aren't the ones we're talking about.
Right. So I'll start off. A good rule of thumb is to buy a Colt, a Smith & Wesson, a Winchester, a Holland Holland, whatever, some well-known name that's been putting out a quality product for, 100 years or so.
Sure. Yeah, that's always a solid choice.
Yeah.
I get a lot of calls on this, and the way I approach that is I tell people, buy the best quality you can afford in the platform that you're shopping for.
Yep.
And if it's a call, I get a lot of calls. They'll say, well, I'm wanting to fill a portfolio with about $15,000 worth of guns. What should I buy? And I'll say, well, I'd buy this one, and this one, and this one, because you can't afford to buy all of this one.
Right.
But these are starting to go up, and that's your next big jump.
Yep.
Trends.
And the better the condition, the fewer of them there seem to be usually, unless you're counting Winchester Commemoratives or something,
Right.
which are unfired.
Right. Quality and condition.
How about those Commemoratives? I've never made money on one. I've done well to break even on them.
I'm going to tell you this, and this is just my opinion on it.
No.
Every company makes good decisions and bad decisions. You never know until it's over. And if you don't try, then you never know.
Right.
Well, I think I know where this is headed.
I will say that was probably fall into the category of one of the not as good decisions.
Yeah.
So
Well, they sure were pretty when
they
came out.
still are.
Yeah.
They're just not worth what they were when they, some of them you can buy cheaper than what list was on them new.
Yeah.
So, and there's guys out there, they'll call and say, I love the Commemoratives. And I say, well, I'm glad there's guys like you out there that love them and enjoy them. You should own them if you want them.
Right.
Just know going into it that they're not going to double in price.
Yeah.
No, they are not.
So,
Not enough people feel the same way, for sure.
right. So we travel a lot. I talk to a lot of people. We place a lot of collectible guns. We buy a lot of collectible guns and then replace them into other collections. And putting good guns up is the only place I know right now to secure money to where it's something that can be controlled.
Right. So quality plays a role. Rarity. There's always that gun that is not popular at the time it's issued, and people have a hard time selling them, and then whoop,
Yeah.
like Smith & Wesson's 32 Magnum, the 16-4.
Yes.
One of my grail guns.
Right.
Back at the time when they were reasonable, I couldn't afford one then because I had young kids. And now they're just slowly getting out of reach.
Yeah. No, that's for sure.
But like the Colt 2000, which never caught on, now they're up as collectors rather than usable guns. You know, everybody's got to have one for their Colt collection.
Well, it's just a general rule of thumb. People want what they can't have.
Right.
That's just human nature.
Okay.
So, the ground rules on it is figure out what you're wanting, find the very best version of that, or the rarest,
Right.
the cleanest, condition, and stay away from refinished jobs for collectible.
You've got to know the territory there.
Yeah. So, and I run a finish shop, but I tell guys, so it's a great story. I'll just slip it in right quick. I had a guy from Austin, Texas call me 2 weeks ago, and he said that he was working for an elderly lady, and she told him she wanted to pay him with a handgun that her husband had. And so it turned out to be a Colt single action, 4 3/4, 45, letter to Texas. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And he knew that it was a valuable gun, and he told her, he said, "This is way more valuable than what you owe me." And her response to him was, if he didn't take it, she was going to just take it to the sheriff's department because
Oh,
she did not want to have a gun around the
man.
house. So he took it, called me, and he wanted to have it engraved. And I told him, I said, it would be criminal to engrave that.
it sure
I
would.
said, it's a 85% condition, 1935 Colt single action Army.
Oh,
Man.
I could not touch it. It's, I mean, you've got to make sure that anything you do is going to make it worth more value, or you shouldn't do it.
Right.
And so, from a collectible standpoint, very valuable revolver, did not need to be messed with.
right. Now, if that same revolver had been refinished by the average gun shop back in the day and had some rounded edges and stuff, would you look at engraving then to kind of enhance its
I would
value?
engrave the heck out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, no question about it.
maybe do a little color casing or whatever
Yep.
and make it look good again.
Yeah. So the moral of the story here with that is that a firearm that's in its original condition, regardless of what percentage it is, it can even
Right.
be heavily worn, is still most of the time going to be worth more than that gun that's been refinished or engraved or something
Yep.
like that, because it's not the original finish, and we're looking at it from a collector standpoint.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, unless you've got an old model that was redone by someone well known for their work.
Right.
Tyler's Gun Works, Turnbull Restorations, Alan Harton's a good one.
Yeah.
Alan does great work.
If their name is on it or affiliated with it, then you've got something. You've got something that's worth money still.
So the moral of the story for me is investing in guns is a great place to invest. Just make sure you either follow somebody who can guide you and help you, or do a lot of homework.
Right.
Yeah.
And be very careful with Lugers and single action arms.
Oh yeah.
Know your stuff.
Yep. You got to know exactly what you're looking at. So, there you have it, right from Bobby Tyler himself. If you have any recent investments you've made, let us know in the comments down below. We'd like to hear from you. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.